Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today I am really excited because I'm finally going to be doing a declutter. Now I have filmed this twice already. This is my third time filming it, so hopefully the third time is the charm. But we are going to be doing a declutter. Now I don't have a ton of makeup items, so it is not going to be a big declutter. I typically do a declutter every 6 months, so there's 2 declutters in a year. I feel like that gives me enough time to really focus on using products, trying different ways to use them, using them through different seasons to see if they work. So it's not like I'm just decluttering to declutter. That's the big thing. I am so excited to finally say goodbye to these products. All the products fit in here, and then I do have a palette back here. I did this declutter a couple of days ago, and I've done my makeup a few times since, and I don't miss these products at all. Let's talk about the first item. This is the ColourPop Just a Tint. Now, if you watched my Project Pan video, you know that I have been working on this for a full year. I started in January, and it took me the whole year to finish. I even had usage on this prior to January. Like, this here you can get well over 200 uses on, so I'm really happy to say that I did empty it. I took everything out of the inside, and this is all I have left, is just this little bit. But I'm not going to keep it around. I'm not the biggest fan of the shade. It's just a little too pink for me. I love the formula. I would definitely get another one again because it lasts a really long time. It is so nice on the lips. I love it, but I'm not the biggest fan of the shade. So it's time to finally say goodbye. I can't believe that I finished this whole lip product in the year. I'm so happy that I did, but it is finally time to say goodbye. The next item that I am so happy to say goodbye to is actually the Merit Minimalist Stick. I tried to make this work for myself. I really did. I gave it a real good go. I used it a lot for the review that I did because I did get this in PR. It was sent to me from Merit. I tried this so many times before I did that review, and I have only reached for it a handful of times throughout the year, and it's just not for me. I think I only reached for about a handful of times. I always forget that this is in my collection. I find it doesn't blend very well. It's very tough to blend, in my opinion at least. I would rather just take a very light skin tint or a very light foundation or a little bit of concealer and apply that to my face than using this just in spots that I need it, because it just doesn't blend out well. Now, it could be because the shade wasn't like the best for me. Even in the summer when I was a little bit more tanned, it still didn't work. It didn't sit well on my face. I always forgot that I had it. Like, it wasn't until I would take all of my makeup out and go, oh yeah, I have this. I sat down to do my makeup and I used this recently, and I didn't like how it looked on my face. I didn't like how it looked on my skin. I didn't like how it worked with my other products. So I said, you know what? I'm going to declutter it because I'm not going to put myself through panning items that I just don't really like and I don't really enjoy. I felt like last year I worked through a lot of products that maybe were not my favorite, but this year I don't really want to have a makeup collection with products I don't love. You know what I mean? So this can finally say goodbye. It's not for me. So the next item here is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. Now, I've had this for about a year. It's been open for about a year, and that's why I'm decluttering it. There's still a little bit of product in here, but there's really not that much left, and it's not clear anymore. It's brown because of how much I've used it just from like my brow pencil and, you know, the coloring. But this is a really nice brow gel. I did enjoy the one from ColourPop. I've enjoyed this one. I do want to try the e.l.f. brow gel, so I'm not really in need of a brow gel at the moment, so I don't think I'm going to be bringing one in anytime soon, but this is definitely one that I would try again. I did enjoy it a lot. It's one that I would spend the money on because I feel like with this one you only need this and a brow pencil, so I liked it, I enjoyed it, and I would definitely get it again. Let's talk about an item that I would not get again. This is the e.l.f. Lash It Loud mascara. Yikes. I did not like this mascara at all. This one just smudges. You put it on your top lashes, it'll smudge. You put it on your bottom lashes, it'll smudge. Get water on your face, it's gonna smudge. If you have watery eyes, it's gonna smudge. Sneeze, smudge. Like, it just smudges so much, and I don't really have a tendency of mascara smudging, so when this one would start to transfer like onto my under eyes, I was like, what is happening? Because this doesn't make any sense. Like, it's really rare for myself to have smudging. This one for me was a definite no. I picked it up because it was the most affordable mascara at the drugstore at the time. Even if this was at the dollar store, I still wouldn't pick it up. It just did not work for me at all. So this one I would stay clear from. I would not recommend it. The CoverGirl Lash Blast mascara, like the orange one, is amazing. Or if you're looking for a higher end mascara, the Merit one is amazing. I love the Merit one. So those are my two favorites, one from the drugstore, one from Sephora, but this one here is a no. It's not very good. Let's talk about another product from e.l.f. I'm not the biggest fan of. See, the thing is I like e.l.f. I think they have a nice variety of products. I think that they have good products, but there are some products that just don't work like any other brand. So another product I'm decluttering from e.l.f. is actually the Ride or Die Lip Balm. I like the formula. I like the color. I hate the packaging, and that's why I'm decluttering it. I'm not going to cut it open and put it into little pods because I don't like potted lip products. So I'm not going to do that, and I might as well try and pass it on to someone because I've hardly used this. Here's the thing. It's so hard to get the product out of this. You have to really, really squeeze to get the product out, and I don't like how there's no like applicator, so it's just the end. So if I want it to be a little bit more precise, or you know, I just want it to look half decent, I need to use like a brush or kind of hope for the best. And if I'm taking this out, I don't want to be using my finger to apply it. And I don't know, I wish that there was like an applicator to make it easy, because you do have to push so hard. That's why I'm decluttering it. It's simply because of the packaging. I don't reach for it because of the packaging. I don't miss it. I would like to try one of their lipsticks or a lip gloss or something, but this type of packaging for me, it doesn't work for me. Funny enough, we have a 3 Ships lip scrub. Now there's 2 reasons why I'm decluttering this. The first reason is because I put this in a project pan and my goal was to use it 20 times, and I did not reach that goal. I think I used it like 7 times. I don't like when lip products are in a pot. So now that I know that, going forward, I'm not going to open any products that are in a pot. And if I want a lip exfoliator, I want to get one that's like in a chapstick. I believe Catrice has some. I know other lip products are like that, where it's like a chapstick. It's just like a lip balm. You can roll it up and you can apply it that way. Then I don't have to dig my finger into the jar. I just don't like that. Because this is a lip exfoliator, like a sugar scrub, you have to really dig in. So sometimes you have to watch what type of brush you use, and it's not for me. So this I'm going to be decluttering because I'm not going to use it. I tried to use it 20 times, but what I'm going to do from now on is if I get a potted lip product, unless I know I'm going to use it, like unless it's a shade I'm going to use, unless it's a formula I like, unless it's something I know I'm going to use, I'll open it. But if I'm hesitant like I was with this one, I'm not going to open it. I may just use this as like a little body exfoliator because this is for your lips. So maybe I could use it as like a body exfoliator, but I'm not going to be missing this from my lip collection. Let's talk about another lip product. This is actually the Merit Lip Oil, and this is in Sangria. Now, I have watched other YouTubers, they got this lip oil and they love the lip oil, but they did mention the same thing that I'm going to say. It doesn't last very long, but with this color specifically, and I don't know if other people have noticed this as well, but you don't get this color because it's a lip oil, and I find that you really have to work with the lip oil to make sure that it doesn't look streaky on the lips, because if you just, you know, apply it like you would, it's pretty streaky. And if you want the color to be built up, you have to really build it up, and then it doesn't look as nice. It is comfortable on the lips, and maybe a lighter color would work a little bit better for myself. I never use it. I never reach for it. I don't find that it combines well with other lip products. So for that reason, I am going to declutter it. I don't reach for this at all. I've got other lip products that I love, that I enjoy, and this one, unfortunately, just not for me. I do have another lip oil from NARS. which I absolutely love. I actually have 2 of them, which I really love. And I also had another lip oil, I believe it was from Clarins, that I loved. So this one, not my favorite. I have tried 2 others that I loved, but unfortunately this one just, it's not my kind of lip product. The next item is going to be the Revlon concealer. This for me, as you can tell, it is just too dark. I tried to use it as a foundation and a concealer in the summer. I also tried to use it to conceal my veins on my eyelids, like as a eyeshadow primer. I used up as much as I could, and I'm really happy about that because I don't like when concealers or liquid products go to waste. Well, I don't like when any product goes to waste, but especially concealers. This one was a little bit too dark, which I should have known in the store, but sometimes the lighting in the store can make things seem a little bit different than at home, but I didn't want to bring it back because I could make it work in the summer, and I did. So this is all that I have left of it. I don't have much at all. It's getting very, very dry. So if I were to apply some to my face to mix with a lighter foundation or even with a lighter concealer, you will see the actual marks of where I applied it because it's just dry now. It's very hard to blend and it just doesn't look right anymore. So I am going to finally declutter this. I feel like I got my money's worth for sure. I was able to use it in many different ways. And with the type of packaging that it was, I had to actually it was kind of like this, where it had like the doe foot right here. So I was able to use up everything that I could with the doe foot, and then I cut it open, and that's what I had put in here. So I feel very accomplished at how much I was able to use of it. If it were lighter, I could probably mix it with something, but it's not light enough, so I'm not going to worry about it. We are going to move on. The last 2 products before we talk about the eyeshadow palette is actually the e.l.f. mini duos. I have lychee and I have spiced apple. So I'm decluttering this for one reason, and that is because of the highlights. I know it sounds silly. So many of you recommended in the past to use them as eyeshadows or to mix the blushes to have like a glittery blush. I have usage in it. I have tried it. The thing is I just don't reach for them. It's been in my collection for 6 months and I haven't reached for them. I think I reached for them maybe once or twice. I love the blushes. The blushes are great. I would definitely want to get a blush from e.l.f. because they are really pigmented and they're nice on the skin. I would want to get almost like a orangey or a brown blush like how this one is. This one's definitely my favorite. I have tried to use a heat gun to take out the blush so that I could just put the 2 blushes in one and the 2 highlights in the other. I haven't reached for them. They're just going to sit in my collection. I'm not going to use them, and I'd rather someone else be able to use them instead of just going bad. For the fun part now is going to be the eyeshadow palette. I have decided to finally declutter an eyeshadow palette. I feel like my eyeshadow palettes are perfectly fine. There's no need to declutter one, but in a sense there was a need for me to declutter this specific one. So I have finally decided to declutter the one, the only Jaclyn Hill palette. This is the first one. It's the original one before she reformulated it. It doesn't have the mirror, and this is what it looks like on the inside. I still think that this is a nice palette for beginners. Like, if I didn't have the makeup collection that I have, like if I didn't have the Naked Wild West, if I didn't have the Going Coconuts, if I didn't have my Hot Buttered Rum, like if I didn't have those, this is a palette that I could use all the time. But I have all these shades in other palettes. Like this section here, Naked Wild West. This section here is the ColourPop Going Coconuts. I've also got like a shade like this in my Hot Butter Rum palette. So I just don't need this whole palette and the Tati Beauty palette. Like I have colors in here that are in other palettes. And before, like I believe this was one of my first, no, I purchased a Tarte palette, which I really didn't like, and then I think I purchased this one. So this was probably my second or third like real eyeshadow palette. So this I got so much use out of and I absolutely loved at the time. And again, if I didn't have so many eyeshadows, this would be one that I would keep. But I just find that some of these formulas are very, very dry, very, very patchy to work with. Some of them are absolutely beautiful, but like I was saying, I have other palettes, and because of the size of the palette, it's always literally in the bottom of my drawer. So I have to move everything to take it out. So I don't reach for this one because I just reach for my Urban Decay palette, because I just reach for my ColourPop palette because it's a lot smaller. If I was going somewhere like traveling and I wanted to bring makeup, I would not bring this one because it's too big. It doesn't have a mirror. And yes, it has a lot of really, really nice shades, but I don't rely on these shades because there's a lot of them that are really, really chalky and really, really patchy. I still think this is a good palette. It's not one that I need in my collection. I haven't reached for it, and I really don't think that I'm gonna miss it because I haven't been missing it. And if I feel like I am missing a specific color, I can then go and get myself a smaller palette that will have it. It does make me a little bit sad to see this go just because it's like I want to dig into all of these, but when I was doing a pan that palette, which I'm not anymore, I'm not panning eyeshadow, but when I did do the project, I was working on a few of these shades and it was so chalky, and I don't know if it's because it's older or I don't know if it's because in the past I never really picked up on it, but I just have eyeshadow palettes that I prefer a lot more, and I might as well pass this on to someone who's going to prefer it and use it more instead of just letting it sit literally in the bottom of a drawer, because that's all it's doing. And even if I were to take this out and put it at the top, then if I want anything on the bottom, I've got to move it again. So for me, I think it's just time that this can go. It has been used, it has been loved, but it is just not part of my collection anymore. It's not what I need, and I feel like someone else can benefit from this palette. So we're gonna say goodbye to this palette. It was definitely one of my favorites in the past, and it still is a really nice palette, but I don't need it anymore. So in total, I ended up decluttering 10 products, all of them in the bag here, and the Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't feel like I'm gonna miss any of these, and I'm not decluttering these to buy something new. I'm decluttering them because they just don't serve a purpose in my collection anymore. And I don't see myself purchasing anything for a while except for a foundation. I do need a foundation, so you will be seeing a new foundation very soon because I just don't have one that works for my skin tone. This here is the only foundation that I have, and yes, it does almost look like it would work, but this is a little bit too, well, I'm wearing it today, so that's why it's gonna look like it would work. But if I wasn't wearing makeup, it is a little bit too dark for right now, but I am trying to make it work. I hope you guys enjoyed this declutter. Let me know if you enjoyed this style. Typically, I'll take everything out and kind of go through it, but I liked going through my items before, doing my makeup a few times to see if there is anything else I could declutter or if I'm gonna miss anything. And so far, I added the Merit minimalist stick and I don't feel like I'm missing anything. So I do have a makeup inventories video coming soon. I have lots of other videos coming soon. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one very, very soon. Bye.